This is Jordyn Grace. Within the large Duggar family tree, which has seen hundreds of names come and go from the spotlight, Micaiah Duggar has, for a substantial length of time, stayed concealed from the public view. This has allowed her to remain hidden from the public eye. However, all of a sudden, as if out of nowhere, the once reticent 12th child of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar is making headlines, and not for the reasons that her parents had thought she would be. Longtime viewers of Counting On have been taken aback by Jordyn Grace's courageous transformation, despite the fact that she is just 16 years old. It has been reported that even her own parents, Jim Bob and Michelle, have been devastated by the course of action that their daughter seems to be on. There has been a lot of talk, concern, and interest around the abrupt arrival of Jordyn, as well as the decisions that she made in her life that went along with it. In the past, Jordyn was often referred to as the shy young lady who has enormous eyes and an even larger heart. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. From the beginning till the breakthrough, the backdrop, when the family was on vacation at the time when 19 Kids and Counting was the most popular program on TLC, Jordyn Grace was often seen clinging to Michelle's skirt or toddling after her older sisters. This occurred during the period that the show was the most popular on TLC. In a family where there were many buddies and parenting arrangements that blurred the lines between sibling and caregiver, she was the child who was given the role of the middle child. She was born just after the family's fame began to rise, and she was given the name of the kid who was in the midst of the family. The admirers of Jordyn Duggar remember her peaceful and compassionate demeanor, as well as her great bond with her older sister Johanna, who was frequently referred to as the twins that weren't. This is despite the fact that Jordyn was never one of the more outspoken members of the Duggar family. The two of them were inseparable partners. However, once the cameras stopped rolling and the show was canceled as a consequence of a number of controversies surrounding the family, Jordyn gradually faded into the background, and she has remained there till now. Photos that were uploaded to social media the week before caused a commotion not only among fans, but also within the Duggar circle itself, and they caused a great number of individuals to tilt their heads in response to them. Everyone was taken aback by the photograph. The whole thing started with a candid photograph that was sent by a distant family acquaintance. The photograph was taken at a community gathering in Arkansas, and it depicted a tall, self-assured adolescent girl with light caramel blonde hair, slight eyeliner, torn jeans, and a piercing that was just barely visible on her left ear. A young lady? Duggar, Jordyn Grace in full. Posts with titles such as, "Is that Jordyn Duggar?" quickly spread over the internet after the post was published. There is no way. This woman is a whole different person. There is no way that Michelle would ever be okay with that attire. Fans instantly recognized the lad as a local high school student called Chase, who is renowned for playing guitar at youth gatherings and has no relation to the strict Duggar group. However, what was even more eyebrow-raising than the edgy clothing and makeup was the fact that Jordyn was holding hands with the kid. Shock, support, and speculation are the reactions of the fans. Reddit, Facebook, and Instagram were inundated with fans' varying degrees of affection. Some others expressed their approval by saying, "Good for her." The fact that a Duggar daughter is discovering her own identity is quite encouraging. She seems to be in a good mood. It is this that is important. But several people were worried. She's only 16 years old. Where exactly is Michelle? It is quite likely that Jim Bob is going insane at this very moment. In point of fact, reports rapidly started to circulate that Jim Bob and Michelle were heartbroken over the stages that Jordyn was now going through. Jim Bob and Michelle's reaction or reactions. Jordyn's recent actions have caused Michelle Duggar to shed tears, according to a person close to the family who divulged the information. Jordyn was always considered by Michelle to be one of the girls with the most sympathetic hearts. According to the insider, she never imagined that she would be the one to experiment with new boundaries. A recent men's prayer breakfast was apparently attended by Jim Bob, who was overheard remarking, "We've lost control, and it hurts." This is much more significant than the previous statement. In spite of the fact that Jim Bob and Michelle have always placed a strong emphasis on obedience, purity, and modesty, particularly for their daughters, they are suddenly confronted with a situation that they did not anticipate. A daughter who is not only disobeying the rules in a quiet manner, but is actively challenging them. Is there a quiet rebellion? According to Jordyn's friends, the transformation did not take place overnight. It was a gradual process that began with little choices, such as reading novels that were not on the Duggar family's list of acceptable literature, keeping a diary on independence, and requesting that jeans be worn on family workdays. But things took a turn for the better in the last year when Jordyn started volunteering outside of the social circles that were allowed by the Duggars. She did this at a local animal shelter, where she engaged in conversations with individuals from all walks of life, including Chase. According to the words of a mutual acquaintance, he treats her like an equal. He is not concerned with the Duggar name in any way. It is only now that he notices her. Jordyn, who had been raised with rules around courting, chaperones, and side hugs, was suddenly exposed to a world in which she had the ability to make her own choices and in which she did not have to have her father's approval for every male she spoke to. How does Jordyn plan to proceed? The most important question that everyone is thinking about right now is, what comes next? A first for a Duggar daughter who isn't already in full rebellion, Jordyn has reportedly indicated interest in applying to colleges, according to someone with knowledge of the situation. Apparently, she has discussed the possibility of attending community college programs in graphic design and animal science with friends of the family. According to the explanation of a friend, she is not trying to burn bridges. Her love for her family has not died. It's simply that she needs room to develop. However, this is not an easy task to do when you feel as if your every action is being evaluated by your parents and by half of the nation. Johanna joins the scene. A supporter who came as a surprise at this given moment? Johanna Duggar, who is said to have supported her younger sister throughout the criticism that has been directed on her. Jordyn has always been protected by Joe, according to the same person who made the statement. Joe encouraged her to speak up even when things were getting tense at home, the speaker said. There are rumors that Johanna is discreetly pursuing her own interests outside of the Duggar script. Johanna has also been fairly silent in public about her activities. Fans are hoping that due to the fact that both sisters are dependent on one another, they will be able to guide a new generation of Duggars who are looking for a balance between their religion and their independence. The beginning of a new chapter. It remains to be seen if Jordyn Grace's courageous decisions will result in other acts of defiance or just in a more truthful existence that she lives according to her own terms. The peaceful girl, however, is no longer quiet. This is a fact that cannot be denied. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar may have been taken aback by her shift, but for many others who have seen the Duggar girl's development, it is not a narrative of disappointment. Rather, it is a story of bravery, a story of perseverance. One of the viewers who has been watching for a long time remarked, "It takes strength to find your voice in a family that big." Jordyn is just starting to tell her story, the speaker said.